I think with children, you know, they haven't developed properly as people in the world yet, which is why they need adults' protection and supervision. But really, again, it falls back to the adult because it's our behaviour that shows children what's okay and what's not. So in that situation where a child would be abused and doesn't want to speak out, it would probably have to be a kindness from an adult or a protection from an adult that allows them to do so. So I think as adults, we need to reevaluate what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel uncomfortable, and also being aware that there is a problem and that we all have to be a part of it in order to solve it or to bring a protection and a boundary towards it.
The child should always know their parent will never judge them regardless, and they should always be confident talking to their parent. Like I, for one, I'm confident telling my mum everything in my life, like everything. And I would never feel, if anything did happen to me, mum would judge me. And that's how I feel like every parent should be with their child, and they should always educate them that from young, regardless if it's like, oh, someone done something to me in school, they should still be able to tell their mum every little thing in their life.
I think that's quite a difficult question because everyone has different parenting styles. Some parents are obviously more involved in their children's lives than others, but I would say really and truly your child has to feel like they're protected. They have to feel like if they can, anything that they come to you with will kind of get a reaction or will basically lead the parent to like do something. So I think a good relationship between a parent and a child will always feel protected. And as long as that's the case, whether they come to you about a broken hand or they come to you about being molested, like that parent will do something about it, and that's what's really important. So I think really the only thing more a parent can do is just love their child and be attentive. What advice?
I feel like with that being said, parents can always show their children that, yeah, you can come and talk to me. Parents can always have any sort of relationship with their children, but I feel like it just depends on the person themselves, on how traumatized they are about the situation, which depends on if they're gonna come out and be open with it.
I feel a parent or guardian or somebody who's older than the child has to make that child feel comfortable. They have to address the subjects in a way where the child feels that they're in a safe environment to share whatever it is they want to share about whatever information they want to share. So they have to feel safe. There has to be trust. They have to create a trusting environment.
You know, I think it starts off with small things. You know, just making your child feel comfortable speaking to you about anything in general. I know that, you know, people live such busy lives, people work, people have lots of, you know, priorities and things to do, but I feel like as a parent it's very important to dedicate some time to your kids just to speak to them and, you know, like build a relationship with them. It's not enough to just have the title of being a mum or a dad. You know, you need to really build a bond and relationship beyond the title and know who your child is. I think that's something that's important. You need to really understand your child. You know, every child is different. No child is the same. So every child will need a different approach in order to feel comfortable. So I think once parents, you know, I'm not a parent, so I can't really speak on it too much, but I'm an auntie, and, you know, I know that all my nieces and nephews, they're not the same. They all have different personalities. So whenever I'm interacting with them, I have different approaches. And that way I'm able to build that relationship with them suited to their personality. So I think it's important for parents to pay attention to who their child is, and from then they'll be able to, you know what approaches are correct to engage with their child, to make them feel comfortable to speak about anything, and then that will hopefully help them speak about something as big as sexual abuse, because they've now built a relationship and bond with their parent that has allowed them the freedom to then speak to them about something like that freely. And
yeah, I think with that, parents don't really like talking to their children about sex because they're worried about exposing them to that kind of environment. But at the same time, the only way that your child would be comfortable enough to talk to you about that, if it were to happen to them, is if you've already had that conversation. Like, you get sex education in school, but we know how minuscule that is. So I think it's important that your child hears it from you, that this is what sex is about. If anything were to happen to you, you know that you can talk to us, we believe you, because a lot of people don't report it to their parents because they feel like their parents wouldn't believe them. So I feel like if you open that conversation early on, especially like during puberty years, you can basically set the standard that your child will be able comfortable to come and talk to you about that.